92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I know I've said this a lot, and I'm probably going to say it again. But today's second date update is one of the weirdest first date stories I've ever heard.
How do they keep getting more strange?
Yeah. And this one is not like crazy, like nothing, oh my God, wild happened. Just the dynamic of it is really weird. Ethan is on the phone with us right now. He wants to call Callie. Apparently they met in a language class.
Ooh.
What's up, Ethan? How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. What sort of language were you learning when you met Callie?
Spanish.
Ooh.
Nice.
Callie is caliente. No? Get it? She's hot? All right. I don't know if they got to that chapter yet.
I wasn't a good student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know what that means. So you met this girl in your language class. What'd you like about her?
Just she had great eyes, the kind that just like draw you in. She had a real kind of kind spirit too. Like she seemed like she was real just sweet.
Did it take you back to high school where you tried to position yourself next to her at the start of every class?
There was a weird disconnect where I was like back in this kind of awkward high school-esque crush.
Yeah.
You're like walking in there, finding someone who's weaker than you, shoving them over and stealing their seat just to show her that you can dominate somebody else.
It was nice. I put some weight on since high school, so I was actually able to be a bully.
Yeah, you're bullying people, stealing people's lunch money. Did you try to impress her with your language skills in the Spanish class?
The play I was kind of making was the sort of lost boyish type thing. I mean, because I was actually not good at the Spanish.
Right.
So I was trying to, like cozy up to her for some notes maybe or
tutoring sessions.
Something along those lines. Just anything to kind of get to talk to her.
When you asked her out, did you ask her out in English or Spanish? I'm hoping it was Spanish.
That would have been really smooth.
Yeah, she's like, you want me to take my pants off right now, you pervert? No. I meant will you go out with me? So she obviously agreed to go out with you. What happened on your date?
We basically agreed to go hang out on the weekend, spend some time together, and then when I get to her house, she comes to the door, looking adorable, as she is, and she says, hey, I'm playing video games with a friend. Do you just want to come in here and chill with us for a bit?
And your first thought is like, oh yeah, I'll come hang out with you and your friend.
Wait.
A couple of girls playing video games.
Actually, to be honest, my first initial thought was like, oh, I thought it was just going to be us today, but like this is fine. And then my head definitely went to where your head just went. Like I was like, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, this date suddenly got really good right off the bat.
I'm guessing video games was not code word for anything.
No, video games was not code word for like sex or menage. It was more just like, hey, let's have video games with this dude.
Ah, there it is.
So there was some guy at her house that she's playing video games with. She invited you in to play video games with him.
Right. So even if it is a three-way, it's like the worst kind.
Who was he?
She just keeps calling him her friend.
No first name, just my friend?
Well, no, his name is David.
Oh, okay.
But she's just really casual with him, and they're just kind of sitting there, kind of like it's like a Saturday morning. Like, I like video games. It's fun. So we played for a while, and then she's like, we should go bowling. And so I'm like, okay, her and I are going to have some time together. I can do the whole, like, I'll show you how to throw the ball thing. And he just comes out and gets in my car.
What?
So you spent your whole first date with her and another guy.
Yeah, and I drove us to the bowling alley, and on top of that, I paid for the rentals of the shoes and the pizza.
You paid for him too?
Wow.
Yeah, I paid for both of them. I paid for the entire day.
So
How did they sucker you into that?
You took a couple out on a date, is what it sounds like.
So nice of you, Ethan.
Yeah. At any moment during your date with the both of them, did you feel like maybe they were actually hoping that it could lead to some sort of menage between you guys?
Oh,
like maybe they are a couple and they were trying to have you join in the fun.
I definitely had this paranoid thought in my head the whole time, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to sleep with him to sleep with her.
And did it end that way?
It did not end that way.
Oh,
basically, I was like, she kind of at some abrupt point, she was just like, let's just go home. And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, do you mind dropping us off? So,
Jeez.
so I definitely dropped him back off at her place with her, and then I left.
And
So-
you actually want another date with her?
I kind of just want to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I really, she's cute, and she seems great. And class is over now, so I'm not going to really have the opportunity to run into her anymore, So I just kind of like to figure out what she's at. Where
It's
her
more.
head's at on this.
It's more just like an unsolved mystery of who this guy was.
Yeah.
Kind of a Robert Stack situation, yeah.
And it wasn't a roommate. We know that for sure.
She never really said, and I honestly was a little too bashful to kind of just come right out and be like, "Hey guys, what's the situation here?"
Yeah.
Maybe in hindsight, I should have been way more upfront.
All right.
Right.
Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, get your second date update, maybe find out who this mystery man is that you shared a lovely evening with. All right. We'll play a song, come back, and get your second date update, okay?
All right.
Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Just heard about one of the strangest first date experiences ever from Ethan, who's on the phone about to do a second date update right now. And I've been trying to put myself in his situation. He met up with a girl at her house. When he showed up, there was another guy there. They were playing video games. She invited him in to play video games with them. They played video games for a while. Then she finally said, "Let's go bowling." And he thought, sweet. Now we get to leave and go bowling so I can spend time with this girl by myself. Her friend came along with them. He spent the entire evening hanging out with her and another dude, even paid for everything. So he basically took a couple on a date. Ethan, I was trying to figure out, I was like, if I was in your situation, what would I do? Part of me wants to think that I would be like, this is ridiculous, I'm leaving. But I think I would have done the same thing you did. I'd be so confused by it that I would just stay and ride the whole evening out.
Just see what happens.
Trying to figure out what the situation is. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's like a series of little things that lead you to the next situation, and before too long, you've spent all evening.
Yeah, and the whole time you're sitting there like, okay, should I just leave this? But I can't leave because she might like me, and this might be like her buddy, but then it kind of seems like she likes a dude. And oh, by the way, I'm paying for everything. This is kind of bull. But, like, I don't know. I think I would have stayed the whole time, too. So we're about to call Callie and find out who the dude is, first of all, because I want to really know who that is.
Yeah.
And if Jubal's theory is right and maybe they were looking for a really good time with you, are you still down?
If I can, get in first and then just find an excuse to leave.
Yeah, you'll do a three-way with him as long as you can be first and then leave before the thing is over. All right. Yeah, that's what I said, too. I was like, maybe they're a swinger couple, and she invited you over hoping that would lead to something, and
How
then you weren't
cool.
picking up on cues.
I mean, I've never encountered that particular situation before, so I don't know that I would know the cues. I hope not.
All right, I'm gonna dial this phone number right now, see if we can get her on the phone and find out who this mystery man is.
Hello,
Hi, may I speak to Callie, please?
this is she.
Callie, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning? Morning radio show?
I know the name.
You've heard the name before.
No, I know your name. I know who you are.
Okay, sweet. Well,
Why are you calling me? What's going on?
I'm calling you because you recently went out with one of our listeners. You went out with a guy named Ethan a little while ago. Do you remember meeting Ethan in your language class?
No. Yeah. I mean, we didn't go out, but yeah.
Okay, so you didn't go out on a date with Ethan.
No, not yet. I think he's cute.
What?
You do, but you want to go out on a date with Ethan.
We'll see. Wait, so he called you?
He emailed us, actually, and he told us all about your date. Well, he told us all about hanging out with you. And it was kind of an odd little hangout session because he was thinking it was a date. Obviously, from your response, it wasn't a date. Everybody, though, wants to know who the dude was that was there hanging out.
Yeah, it wasn't a date, and that was one of my best friends. It's my friend David.
Oh,
So there's nothing between you and David?
No, he's been one of my best friends for 5 years.
Really?
So when he asked you to hang out, you just thought it was just for fun and that you guys were hanging out and your best friend could hang out too.
Yeah, no, he just asked if we could hang out, so I invited him over. So he came over and hung out with us, and then we all went bowling, and, I mean, they hung out. They were cool, which was good. I mean, that's really important.
Yeah, totally.
So you're not a swinger?
And there's that.
No, why?
Oh, man. Callie, that was my theory, was that the dude was over there on purpose, and you were hoping that he and Ethan could get to know each other very well with you. No?
Wait, who said that?
I said that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wrong? You're not a swinger?
No, I'm definitely not a swinger, but I know some if you want me to give them your number.
All right, well, maybe we can talk later, Callie. All right, now. But you can see why I would ask the question, though. It's kind of weird when a guy says, hey, let's hang out, and you're like, sure, come over, and then you come over, and there's another dude there who continues to follow you throughout the night. He pays for everything. It's like
Follow me, like that's my friend. We invited Ethan to come out with it. I don't understand what's going on right now. Like this call is weird.
Well, but Ethan thought it was. Well, I understand the call is weird. Thank you, by the way, for staying on the phone with us and not hanging up. I appreciate that. But Ethan thought he was going.
You guys are cool. I'm just trying to get a handle on what's going on.
Well, Ethan thought you were going on a date.
And Ethan thought he was really clear that it was obvious he was interested in you.
No, I know he's interested in me. It is obvious, but I just met the guy, so obviously I'm just going to get to know him. It's important to be friends first. Like, I'm not just going to go date some random guy.
Yeah, you should tell Ethan that. That's what I think.
I haven't talked to him. I mean, I guess I will when I see him. He hasn't called.
Callie, why don't we change the fact that you haven't talked to him? Because he's actually on the other line right now.
What?
Hola.
Oh.
Hey, Callie, how's it going?
I'm not sure right now. Like,
I just was a little, I could not figure out what you were thinking because when I asked you if you wanted to hang out, and I know I should have said date, but I thought your response was like you were interested in me, and I show up, and then there's this guy there, David, who's like, I guess he's a nice guy, but I don't know, and mainly the fact that I had to pay for everything is like so.
wait a second. Why
annoying
does this
to me.
keep up about you having to pay for stuff? Like, you offered to pay. Did I tell you to pay?
No. You were busy bowling and eating nachos and shoes that someone else, rented. It's just
You're being weird. Like, if you wanted to know what I was thinking, why didn't you just ask me? I actually was interested in you, but you totally just ruined it.
I know you think that I'm being a weirdo, but if being a weirdo can save me about, $40 to $50 every time I see you, I guess that's good.
Wow.
You're so cheap.
Hey, Callie?
I don't even know what to say right now because I was interested in you, and now you're just being immature.
Well, I guess since I'm immature, it's okay for me to go ahead and say that you're being a gold-digging b****.
Wow, this deteriorated fast, didn't it?
I'm sorry that $40 is a lot of money for you. Like, if it was, you shouldn't have offered to pay. Like, it's in such bad taste to then, come back later and talk about something that you paid for. It's pathetic.
But Callie, I feel like you used Ethan to take you and your friend out for a good time.
I don't think
It's
so.
what it sounds like to me.
No.
If you let him
No, you're
pay
not
for
listening.
everything.
I actually was interested in him
Okay.
before this call.
Did you ever offer to pay at all, or did he just go the whole time? Was Ethan like, "Oh, I'll take care of it. It's cool. I'm a cool guy. I'm Ethan. I'll just pay."
I don't know. My grandma taught me right. I don't ever pay for anything when I'm with men. Like, that's
All right. Okay, but that's just the way you were raised and how you do things. You don't pay for stuff.
No, and I wouldn't expect to pay for anything if we ever went out on a first date, which will now never happen.
But I mean, Callie, David might be your friend, but it's not Ethan's friend, so he shouldn't have to
Then
pay.
why is he paying for him?
Yeah,
I don't know, Ethan. Why did you pay for everything?
Because they just sat there with their hands out.
All right, at this point, I would like to see if you two crazy kids would go out on a second date or a first date, whatever. Callie, it will comfort you to know that I will pay for it. Yeah. Will you go out with Ethan again?
Hey, I have a lot more friends. If you want to pay for a party, I'm all for it.
I can pay for a party with you and your friends. So, is that a no? You're not interested in going out with Ethan again?
No, not at all. I'm sorry, I don't mean to joke, but it's really funny now.
That's fine.
Oh, so you don't want to go out with her, Ethan?
No, I can't. I can't afford it.
What about her friend Dave? Why is this guy getting screwed out of another date? Ethan, you want to go out with Dave again?
No, it's over. Me and David are a thing of the past.
This is the saddest second date update I've ever heard. I liked you guys together.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.